Welcome back, Middle Age Grind. It's been a little while. I've posted a few little short videos over the past couple of weeks, and I'm gonna get right into the title of this video. Then I'll give you a quick little health update, happy one. Five things middle class must stop buying, according to Warren Buffett. And I'm gonna share the five things and some of my experiences, and maybe it can help you out. And that's what these videos are about. If it can help you out, that's what I'm aiming for. Number one, new cars. Not buying new cars all the time. I can say personally, we've been not very great at this. But I'm going to give you an example of what he's talking about. And, if you watch some of my other videos, here our retirement plan, we put away, we max out our IRAs and HSA and put a little bit more. So I don't think this is killing me in that regard, even though we haven't been the best at always keeping cars as long as we should. But you know what? Let me give you an example here. This is what he means by that. You know what $500 a month for 30 years at 10% gets you? You know how much that is in 30 years? Well, that number is 1,085,000 rounded off, okay? That's $250 a paycheck if you get paid twice a month. That's $500 a month. In 30 years, in the market, the S&P 500 actually averages a little bit more than that, but let's just go in the lower end, 10%, not the 10.8 or whatever it's done historically, okay? That's what he means by that, guys. People who constantly are buying new cars and having that note and not putting away, you're really setting yourself up for failure down the road. So, look, if the one title of this video, if you got a kid watching or a young person, put away $500 a month, do that for 30 years in the S&P. Don't go crazy. This is not investment advice, all right? S&P is the 500 largest U.S. companies based on their worth. It gets reconstituted once a year, I believe in March. Okay? This is not a feeling. It's not an opinion. It's not a survey. It's actual based on accounting. The 500 largest U.S. companies. It's a ETF and the SPY or VOO. Okay? It's the same thing. And you put your money in that, the fees are hardly nothing. It's passively managed. Do that for 30 years and come back and tell me later, oh, I wish I wouldn't have did that. Won't happen, guys, okay? Number two, unnecessary subscriptions. And nowadays, I find over the past decade, the typical, well, I got my cable TV and that's probably who I have my internet with. That has been blown up, especially for younger people. I know some of the older folks, they kind of tend to stick with the boxes and that kind of stuff. But we younger people like to stream because it saves money. It gets you a little bit more where you want to be. What I've learned is whether you're with Verizon or T-Mobile or whomever, you usually get a little deal. I know we're at T-Mobile now. We get a free version of Netflix with the ads, okay? But we don't pay anything extra. We have that. We have, through our Spectrum internet services, by internet's $95 a month, we get about 40 cable channels on there. And then we have Amazon Prime and Disney Plus. And between all those things, pretty much people, in my household can watch TV on their tablets or on the TV, whatever they want. But just kind of limiting those subscriptions and not letting them get out of hand. Number three, this is something we've done pretty well with. Constantly upgrading to a bigger home. I'm 42, will be 43 in May, and own two homes in my life, myself. We lived in Oklahoma for 5 years, owned a smaller home, turned a little profit when we sold it to move to Louisiana. Home we bought here back in 2011, which is going to be 14 years this year, paid $335. Right now, it's probably worth at least $5.25. A lot of equity built up in there. Never upgraded. We kind of did the right thing at the time. Had one kid, one on the way. We thought we were gonna have more. We basically have a 5-bedroom house, and didn't need to upgrade. Every kid has their own room. Been there 14 years, and we talked to my neighbors about this. Our houses are getting at the point where we're needing to spend some upgrades on things like air conditioners, water heaters. Roof is going to be something within the next decade. You're going to have to tackle. We have some expenses coming, just with the regular upkeep. But the amount of equity that we've earned, I mean, if you look at the example I gave you, in 14 years, probably up 200K. Now that's unrealized. Did not take out a second mortgage, trying to pay the thing off. But I've had some nice equity appreciation that, we'll either stay there long term, or, down the line, if we sell and move somewhere or do something, you're kind of in the game there. And but we didn't, every 5 years, let's get a bigger house. Let's get a bigger house. That's some things people tend to mess up on a little bit. Number 4, low quality goods. And the thing that I took out of this is, sometimes you do get what you pay for. I'll give you an example with my personal experiences. I like to fiddle around and be a handyman and do kind of things. I like Makita tools. Okay, Home Depot sells them. When I worked on a restaurant with a guy when I was 18, he swore by Makita, a Japanese brand. And when I started buying some tools over a decade ago, kind of like I'm talking drills and saws and that kind of stuff, I went with Makita. I have a Makita impact drill driver from, I want to say 2011, and it still works. Look, I love Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight is great for certain. They have all kind of tools there too. Little screwdrivers and zip ties and tarps, kind of on the cheaper end. But for my drills and saws, I buy Makita, and I can tell you I haven't replaced anything in over a decade that I've bought. So sometimes, you buy that. I got a leather jacket. It probably was $300 10 years ago. That thing is still like brand new today. Buying quality items sometimes pays off in the long term. That's where he's going at it. And number 5, now this is one too, I guess he wouldn't agree with me, is lottery tickets. And I think from what I read and what he means by this is, if you're not putting away, you have a plan for retirement down the line, don't let the lottery tickets be your plan, guys. I play the lottery. I've said it before. Look, the Power Mega and Lotto, I end up spending about $500 a year. I win sometimes, $10 here. It's probably a little less than that. But at the same time, I'm maxing out, we're maxing out our IRAs, our HSA, and putting money aside. It's not like I'm treating this as my retirement plan. It's the hope, okay, you hit it big kind of thing. I don't think that's putting a dent in our basically savings. But these are the 5 things that he said middle class people need to be aware of and be conscious of in order to one day have a nice nest egg. So I wanted to share that with you today. Another thing here, an update on my health and people who watch it. I appreciate it. And I had some people reach out to me, and I had a kidney stone, 4-millimeter kidney stone. And back in Friday, doctor called me early Friday morning. I was about to do a video, and he called me and said, "How you feeling?" I said, "I kind of had a rough night." It was supposed to be Wednesday of this week, and he says, "I think I can squeeze you in this morning. Can you come?" I said, "Let's do it." Sure enough, 9:30, went to the hospital, had the procedure, had to be put under. Litroscopy, I believe is the name of the term. They went in, pulverized the stone, took it out. I have a stent in me until Thursday, and I feel 1,000 times better, guys. And I didn't realize it. He had some blood work done on me last week, my urologist, where I went to my regular doctor. And you get the blood panels, and it's cholesterol and glucose, and there's all these different type of things. And I only know what about 2 or 3 of them represent, but there's one thing called the creatinine levels, and mine was elevated. And come to find out, that is your kidneys not working properly, expelling the waste from your body. Now, I was urinating and stuff, but I was not getting the toxins out of my body, and it was elevated. And he said, let's do it now. And I can tell you, even after that first day, and I just feel better. My body, I know how, unfortunately, probably someone who goes on dialysis feels when they need to get that out, because that stone in my right kidney, and it was up there. It was, I don't want to say impacted the right word, but it was in a tricky spot. It was 4 millimeters. It was probably not going to come out. I was on medicine to try to pass the stone for nearly a month. And thank God for modern medicine and doctors, and he did right by me, and I feel 1,000 times better. And then I have this stent in me to help drain any loose material out there until Thursday. But I'm in a much better place now, and actually got the result this morning. It was some kind of oscillate, the stone, the composition of it. And basically, they think it was due to dehydration. And I've mentioned before, in the summer months, I'm busy, I'm outside, I'm cutting grass, I'm doing stuff, I'm drinking a lot. These past 2 or 3 months, I have not, and it probably did me in. Hydration is key, guys. Water's the best thing. And believe it or not, lemon extract even is really good, citrus, to prevent this again. And I am going to have been incorporating that into my diet, putting a few lemon drops in my water, and hopefully this never happens again. 2025 is looking good. I'm glad to get back and doing these videos. I'm going to share some more of these with you. And look, I watched a video from a guy named Jake last night on dividend growth investing. Check him out. He's a guy a little bit younger than me, done pretty well, and he talked about it. You know, he has more followers than me, obviously, and I'm not chasing algorithms, guys. I'm not trying to get views. I have a few people who interact with me on these things, and my kids watch this, and I think hopefully I'm teaching them things, and they can look back on this in years later. And I'm just going to try to put out quality stuff that I think helps, and I don't care if it doesn't get 100,000 views. I'll keep putting these out, and if I think it can help people, and hopefully it does, and hopefully it's helping you. And I hope everybody has a great 2025. I know I'm looking forward to have a much brighter outlook. I've been battling this health issue this past month, and it's been tough. And now I feel like I'm on the downward end of this thing and looking up from here. And I appreciate people who've reached out to me. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I'll see you real soon on the Middle Age Grind.